footprint for our implementation planning. And finally, we get everyone's hands on deck with the end user training. We will be discussing application workshops, do more Q&As, assess user productivity and progress of the software use, and afterwards we'll finalize go-live preparations to make sure that the program is accessible to everyone at Company X. Our first kickoff meeting will be on May 1st. And during this meeting, we'll be discussing implementation goals such as keeping our vendor accountable with our detailed needs document. Now, what this document is a list of every person, team, and department that will be using the new tool. The people that will be included are our day-to-day users, our Company X employees, as well as our leaders who will be consuming the data produced by Toggl for productivity tracking and other means. We will also be wanting to address our stakeholders, who they are and how they will be impacted by this, and the timing of the impact. In our needs document, we'll also want to define the capabilities of Toggl so that we can also focus on what's important throughout the implementation process, specifically training. Other things we will be discussing during this time is assembling the teams for our necessary success. The makeup of the implementation team will really help to derive our software implementation plans. A few roles that we have included are our IT administrator, who has already worked closely with our Toggl master and our training leads for the new system. So our Toggl master, if we have not already defined this person, is basically the representative that will be talking back and forth with for the system software. And our May 1st will also cover additional product understanding, a recap of the project scope, and relay the implementation plan with a draft of our timeline. So, what are we trying to accomplish? With our implementation plan, we hope that this will allow our team members to be able to trust and rely on this new system and the data that it will be providing, as well as helping with the workflow. One of our company's main issues from 2018 was time management. And with Toggl, we hope that we should be able to have a better tracking software for employee productivity as well as employee time management. For employees, this should help them to find some time in their day to dedicate towards other tasks, projects, or to take on other additional things. Overall, we hope that this strategy will empower them to be more ready with better time management. As we move on, we hope to jumpstart between May 6th through May 10th. Our contact team will be meeting with Company X's Toggl representative to discuss strategic planning and building a profile to ensure that our team members are getting all the resources they need to do their work, all while tracking productivity. At this time, we also hope to begin hands-on training with some of the team members, implementing our workflow plans, and deciding on what will work best by reviewing and deploying a policy and process document. A few weeks later, we hope that our contact team will be meeting again with the Toggl representative to go over any hiccups or to discuss any concerns or perhaps even talk about things that may be going well. At this time, we'll define a detailed workflow and process for using Toggl and determine the rules needed for a user-friendly interface. We'll then determine a minimum footprint for Toggl and validate any technical plannings, such as asking ourselves if the software is ready to use, if all applications have been installed to all computers, and what demographics we need to be interfaced for pre-work. As for testing, we've scheduled for 2 dates, May 28th and June 6th. We'll continue with documentation and validation, and again, all important demographics should be transferred for pre-work. This slide reflects our go-live dates. You'll see that on June 4th, we'll have our manual migration, and what this means is we'll be manually migrating the entire source site to the target environment to be ready for our system-ready go-live date on June 5th. Then, between June 10th and June 14th, we'll have our employee training. So our work streams for implementation will include project intake, reporting, productivity, reviewing financials, and managing policies and protocols. With project intake, we'll be finalizing any department metrics, designating individuals to manage productivity data, which is usually our leads, supervisors, and managers, and then we'll be signing off on these things. With reporting, we'll need to map current to future reports, develop new reports based on Toggle's functionality, and then report the intake process for that. As for productivity, we'll have to look over the productivity and tracking requirements, all while documenting current and future process post-go-live dates. And finally, we'll build a task list and workflow based on metrics and communication for Company X, and develop a calendar and budget build process while setting up a payment system between Company X and Toggl. Lastly, we'll want to build a task list and workflows for protocol and policy management, and define end-user training and verify protocol and policy statuses. And finally, we have our Toggl project timeline. Now, this timeline projects the dates we've already discussed in the presentation, which includes our kickoff meeting, planning and setup, application setup, workflow validation, our interface date, finalizing go-live preparations, our system-ready go-live date, as well as our go-live and user training dates, and finally, our final system verification date. Implementation is usually a difficult stage with project management, and it's especially crucial that our tasks, goals, resources, and roles are really clearly defined, especially communication. Communication is very key and can be lost at any point of the project planning. However, I think our team has really managed to put the pieces together, and we've come together to create this smooth transition for the Toggl integration. And it's going to be a very positive outlook for Company X. And without further ado, to conclude our presentation, I'll hand it over to Jacob.
Thanks, May. And I will be wrapping us up here and going over our overall conclusion. So to conclude on our presentation of Toggl for time management, we chose Toggl due to its ease of use. It was one of the easier programs to use that are out there that can be used for this type of situation. It provides very good organization for reps. Again, that is easy for them. And it also had very good reviews. Doing some research of the product online, had very good reviews overall. What the future holds for Toggl, we believe it'll lead to better overall satisfaction with customers as well as outside agents, which can lead to growth within the company through word of mouth and online reviews. Being that customer service is one of the more important things that people look at when they're choosing a company. And it leads to better overall organization for representatives and managers, giving them better timekeeping and the ability to track and look over what reps are doing with their time. Well, that concludes our presentation. Thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, feel free to let us know. Thanks.